God cares for creation. Today we hear from the central portion of Psalm 104, verses 10 through 23. Our key verses are 13 and 14. You make the springs gush forth in the valleys. They flow between the hills, giving drink to every wild animal. The wild asses quench their thirst. By the streams the birds of the air have their habitation. They sing among the branches. From your lofty abode you water the mountains. The earth is satisfied with the fruit of your work. You cause the grass to grow for the cattle, and plants for people to use, to bring forth food from the earth, and wine to gladden the human heart, oil to make the face shine, and bread to strengthen the human heart. The trees of the Lord are watered abundantly, the cedars of Lebanon that he planted. In them the birds build their nests. The stork has its home in the fir trees. The high mountains are for the wild goats. The rocks are a refuge for the conies. You have made the moon to mark the seasons. The sun knows its time for setting. You make darkness, and it is night, when all the animals of the forest come creeping out. The young lions roar for their prey, seeking their food from God. When the sun rises, they withdraw and lie down in their dens. People go out to their work and to their labor until the evening. Have you ever visited Redwood National Forest or traveled along the Pacific Northwest coastline? The sheer awesome height of the trees is a dizzying thing. It's incredible to think that something so tall could have ever been a sapling, must have always been larger than life in its dimensions. The cedars of Lebanon, which we hear about mentioned in verse 16, are also enormous, although for a different reason. Through the centuries, seafarers, empire builders, temple constructors, railway builders, and others relied on these historic cedars for ships, railroad timber, and even construction of the first temple in Jerusalem. At one point, their contents were decreed imperial domain by the leader of the Roman Empire. Think, too, of all the important minerals that come from the mountains, how the moon affects our tides, how we measure our workdays by periods of the sun and moon and the hours of the day. God created the planet with a sense of order and a majestic array of resources for us to enjoy. Even wild lions depend on God's providence for their daily nourishment. Cattle need the grass God causes to grow, and every manner of thing that we enjoy comes from the wonder of the natural world and how we have harnessed those things. God cares for us and all created things because God created with great intention and great abilities. As the Apostle Paul says in 1 Corinthians chapter 3, all things are yours, and you are of Christ, and Christ is of God. We are reminded in today's reading that the earth is the Lord's, that it's God's handiwork, that God created it and all that is in it, and that God loves us and all created things. We give thanks for a love that continues and knows no bounds.